and I was looking over it before service, the bulletin back in the foyer. Good, got a lot of handy dates and things. Some of the things that I'm probably supposed to be announcing right now are in there, the dates and all that information. And don't forget, if you got teenagers, the supper coming up for them to help with as well. Hebrews chapter 13, verses 5 and 6. I'd ask you to stand this evening in reverence to the reading of God's word. Just stand one more time. Hebrews 13, verses 5 and 6 says, "Let your conversation be without covetousness, and be content with such things as ye have. For he hath said, I will never leave thee nor forsake thee, so that we may boldly say, the Lord is my helper, and I will not fear what man shall do unto me." And you may be seated this evening. Now, I want to preach for a little while on this topic of our help coming from the Lord, the help of the Lord, and the nature of the help that he gives us, the necessity of the help that God gives us. And then we're going to talk about some of the numerous ways that he sends that help, because whether we realize it or not, day in and day out, God is working in our lives and providing a means, not just for us to accomplish his will, but literally for everything that we do. And I think it's easy to forget sometimes just how much of our day-to-day lives are enabled by the Lord. I know I'm guilty sometimes of thinking that, that I'm pretty strong, that I've got the ability to to get up, and I think about what I got to do tomorrow, and I go to bed at night, get up the next day, and sometimes I just go at it, and I'm thinking about all the different stuff. I got to do this, I got to do that, me, instead of realizing that, hey, every bit of this I'm depending on the Lord's help for, right? Every bit of it, I've got to have his help. And that word jumped out at me there in Hebrews 13:6, so that we may boldly say, the Lord is my helper, and I will not fear what man shall do unto me. And so I want to, one of the things that I hope to show you this evening is that there's a couple of different kinds. There's a lot of different ways that the Lord helps us, but I've divided that up into two kind of primary ways that God helps us and that he helps everybody, really. First of all, I want to point out the necessity of his help. John 15, verses 1 through 5. John 15, 1 through 5. Hopefully, when we wake up tomorrow even, we'll wake up with the attitude that, hey, Lord, I need you today. Before I get up, before I put my feet on the floor, before I do anything, I need the help of the Lord, because to some degree, to a lot of degrees, he's going to help us if we accomplish anything. And that's what Jesus points out here in John 15. I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman. Every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away. And every branch that beareth fruit, he purgeth it, that it may bring forth more fruit. Now ye are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you. Abide in me, and I in you. As the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, except it abide in the vine, no more can ye, except ye abide in me. I am the vine, ye are the branches. He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit. For without me, ye can do nothing. Now, I think Jesus is showing us here actually two polar opposites of what we can accomplish. I think on one hand, he's saying, I'm the vine, my Father's the husbandman. If you're not bearing fruit, the branches that are not bearing fruit, he takes away. And I don't have a lot of time to get into that tonight because